We call meeting to order.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Approval of agenda.
Move to approve.
Support. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Review and approve minutes of July 23rd meeting. They look good to me.
Yep.
You stand up, present it. Review and approve bills. Accounts payable dated August 6th, regular, $550,229. EFTs, $115,086.61 for a total of $666,215.61.
Move to approve.
Want a few minutes to check it over.
I'll support the motion. This is BitMet Products of Michigan.
That's our motion.
That's our motion for the I suspected that's what it was. I'm with the garage, but it's 3-1.
Any questions on it?
Just give me another minute.
All right.
I'm ready.
Move in a second to pay the accounts payable. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried.
So is this ACH part of this too?
Yes, it is.
I thought so, but. I think that's it. 4 on there.
Yep. Let's go on. Just put there.
Yeah, I think you've signed this one already, right?
Okay. dated July 30th regular and August 13th regular.
Move to approve. Support.
Any discussion? If not, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same.
Got 4 on it, right there.
Okay. Treasurer's report.
Beginning cash and investment balance is $2,324,662.39. Total receipts was $1,013,201.04. Total on bills and payroll was $815,389.14. CD reserve for 2 trucks was $712,186.20. Ending available fund balance is $1,810,288.09. Outstanding accounts payable right is a credit of $509.87.
Any questions? If not, stand as presented. Thank you. Public comment.
I got a couple. I brought pictures today.
Oh,
It's
no.
called documentation, right?
Oh,
Mike was at one of our meetings, well, he was at our meeting the other night, and person was talking about their driveway, forcing out by the driveway. Well, on my way down to find that, to look at it, I found a tree that's broken off on Duck Lake Road. I put the GPS coordinates on it. It's between 12 and Watkins Road. It's about 300 foot north of the only house on the east side of the road on that section. So it's kind of a not good thing. So here's some pictures of the guy's driveway kind of leading up to it. What's happening, because when he was talking about it, we didn't know if it was washing out on which side of the road it was up. Well, it's washing out in the road. It's running down the hill towards the bridge. So it's on Duck Lake Road as well, just south of the bridge. It's the first driveway south of the bridge on the east side of the road, but there's pictures. I got a picture of the dirt that's piling up from the bridge. He said it's actually washing down into the creek. He goes in half the culverts, trying to sand it in. So I don't know what person to do about it, but he complained about it. And apparently, like, into the road from his driveway, you can see where there's like a gully where it's run down through there. And apparently he's shoveled dirt out of wherever, I don't know to fill it with. He said one time he went to go out there and there was a ravine about that wide and about that deep. That's what he was telling me. Fill it in before he gets his car on the driveway. But anyway, there's pictures of that.
I take it there's no ditch there.
It's a dirt road in Hillsdale County.
No, I said, I take it there's no ditch there.
Well, no, the ditch is in the road about so far into the road now.
Oh, now it is, okay.
Yeah, so it's been taken care of now.
So we should just dip that out.
Well, yeah, you could do that. I don't know. Maybe we need to reroute the road and put a culvert in and let him drive over it. I don't know. And also, I thought I had more pictures of this than what I've got. So you say this one's been taken care of right now?
He's being sarcastic.
He's shoveled it
He's
in.
done, okay.
Yeah.
But it continues to runs right down, there's a hill there, and it runs right down that hill, and it seems to end right there at the bridge and runs into the water at some point in time, but I don't even know what you do about it, but I wondered.
Are these copies for us to keep, or do you
Those
want
are
us
for
to
you.
make? Okay.
I got pictures on my phone, so I
Just
don't need
wanted
it.
to make sure.
And this one here, I noticed it back, it was like a day or so after you brined the road, so it probably was scraped. And it's corner of Arkansas and Hicks. We drove by there when we done the drive around back earlier near Bob.
Okay.
It wasn't like that now, but it's big ravine. I thought I had one from the other side too, but there's a big ravine there in that corner. Kinda comes out into the road on the, right there at the intersection. And then Hicks Road has got a lot of washouts too. It's leading up, it stops when it gets Mark Wiley south, so I don't know how that worked out, but.
That's what you get when you're chairman.
And then, had one of our members complain about Bean Road. Well, going to Bean Road, so I decided to go down Western Road, because we had a complaint about Western Road, the small section that's tree lined. And some woman said, well, you come out, scraped it, they went flying down through there, it's worse than how it was. I went down there and it was about as good as I've ever seen it. I don't know, maybe she hadn't lived there that long. Anyway, I continued west of there, and it'd be just west of Cronk Road. You go down the hill, and it's got ditches there now, I will tell you that. That's one road with ditches, because there's one spot, there's not much road left. So there's pictures of that. I did write on it where it was at and stuff so you guys would know. Like I said, I'm just telling you what it is. And then Cronk Road, I turned north on Cronk Road, you know about where we was talking about putting a culvert in? I know it's not been done yet, but going north of there, there's other spots too where the road's all washed away. So anyway, just spots that need something done to them, I just wanted to bring it to your attention. So that's my big complaints. There are more, but I thought, well, there's another one. I'd be lucky we get these done. I still have the big hole in front of my driveway there by where people go off on the shoulder, and it's about that wide and about that deep now. Semi went through there the other day. Man, did he make a lot of noise, and I thought he was gonna get my mailbox, but he missed it by a couple inches, so I was good about that. Anyway.
You would think the supervisor would get priority, wouldn't you?
You know, I brought it up to the manager's attention, even pointed it out to him one time, and I dropped a note off up to the front desk like I was told to do, and it's still there. That's why I told the one guy at the meeting complaining about his driveway, I said, I just let you know that
I got one too.
I got one too, and I just want you to know, so if you don't see nothing happen right away, just remember there is a line.
What's
So-
your address?
Mine, 9020 West Chicago. It's corner of Duck Lake and 12, north side of the road. When they they paved the shoulder wide for the turn-in for the antique mall, but what they didn't think about is a lot of people that are down Duck Lake Road too, to either go down the road or in the antique mall. So it stops right about where Duck Lake Road is, so there's no get off point earlier, so when they come off of that, usually it's a car right there, so there's surprised there, and then some major stuff yet.
And I don't believe that's a passing.
It's not supposed to be, but that doesn't mean they don't do that, Bob. Yeah, the lines aren't painted for it to be passing through there, but they do it anyway. But the other question I had is, I got that summary of what you guys, where you're at and what you had done and all that. And I was a little bit confused on the part where half of the limestone had been hauled in. Does that mean you've hauled it to your yard, or does that mean you put it on the road?
I just put it on the road.
So part of it's on the roads?
Yeah.
Do you know which roads have been done yet or not?
Offhand, I haven't
Okay,
got
I
that.
just wondered.
Yeah.
I didn't want to have to drive around all of them, but I just wondered. So.
Did you like that update?
Yes, we did like that. Our clerk liked it too. I think she said a thank you or something. She
Yeah.
said.
She did.
That's why I was gonna tell them in person how nice it was.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I think so too. So anyway, I think that's all I got.
They're finishing your township today.
Are they? Okay. So, that one picture there, the last of the pictures, that was on one of the spots to get fixed. Scrapes, so are they gonna fix that, or are they gonna
They
just?
should be scraping all that before they put the.
Okay, cause a lot of you know, I just hate to get my truck dirty again, it's already a mess.
You should send the trustee down to check it out.
Well, he's the one that told me Bean Road was bad, and I thought, okay, it's not good. I mean, that's one of the roads we didn't plan on doing anything to. It's got some bad spots in it, but, you know, I'm sorry, they missed the golden opportunity when we done the driveway around, so. They'll have to endure for another year.
You got anything?
Me, yes. I'm hoping that Bob can go off memory here. First off, congratulations. Retirement is, everything is cracked up to be. Is this your last one, or?
But, oh, for retirement?
Yeah.
My wife said this is it, or this is it.
All right.
So, it might be it then.
You called me on Somerset Road, and it said that the board was, decided not to do that this year. And, I can't get it in any sooner. So, I mean, as long as it's done by June 30th of next year, we're in good shape. Our budget starts July 1. We put it in the budget in June 30th, and then our July meeting is when we approved it and handed it to our commissioner that night. We can't get it any quicker than that. So, you know.
That was July, you said?
July 1's June 30 is our budget year. And, I mean, I know it's been years, but we've had that conversation here before, so, just bring everybody up. I mean, I know Heather's, taking over here October 1, so she'll be the one we direct this to next year. And the main thing I wanted to deal with was I'm hoping, I know I talked to you about it probably 6 months ago or so, this Marv and Barb Nelson on Mill Street, abandoning our rights to that crossroad that's in their middle of their property. Have you guys dealt with that?
No, I believe.
I mean, it's gotta be done right here, so.
Well, that's. I got to follow the same as, like the park roads.
No,
So, because they're not certified roads, it's gonna be a completely.
Those are paper roads, yeah.
Because, the drain commission, not drain, it was the health department, the permit for their well.
Yep.
They dropped the well. This is 6 or 7 years ago.
Yep.
And we, as a township, zoned it, we're okay, gave them permits to build everything. They've got a house and a barn, nice setup. But right in the middle of it, there's a cross like that, that's the roadway. And there's a little section down below it's the roadway. Then somebody found this on the plot map from 1910. It was drawn up in 1904 and 1910 is when it was approved or whatever. And
Certified?
No, they're not roads, they're paper roads, they're on a plat.
Okay.
Identified, if we ever wanted to put them in, that's where they would go. But there's houses, a house and a barn and a well now where those roads would go if we ever put them in. So we need to abandon them.
yeah, we need to abandon them. We brought this up last night. Now, my question here is, the way I'm thinking is your property line goes to the middle of the road. Is that, in that area? Is that correct or not?
Not on a plat. Because technically that plat, that belongs to us.
Okay.
Your property lines go to those property lines and then that easement for the road is not just an easement, that's dedicated to the road commission for the public.
Okay.
So, yeah, it got built on not their property.
Well, they've spent the money, or they're spending the money, hired an attorney to get this cleaned up.
All right.
We brought it up at our meeting last night, and that question was asked, who owns that property right now? Because I told them that, you know, they asked me, why do we have to foot the bill? Because you're buying a property with that money. That's basically what you're doing. And, because we're gonna abandon our rights to it, and you're basically gonna turn it over to them, and they're gonna have to spend almost $10,000 is what the guy told me.
And it's gotta go through circuit court to redo the plat.
Exactly.
That's platted road, so.
Yes. And
That's really the cost, is the circuit court.
We had that happen a few years back, that the garage got onto there. And,
Same principle.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so,
But I think that the health department is now weighed into it because of the well.
they don't have to pump well.
Yeah.
And,
they
So
don't
we
want,
need to,
they don't want a well in the middle of the road.
no,
Mm.
that's the issue, so, I mean, none of us were around when that plat was put together, I don't believe, but.
Gary might have been.
He helped draw it up. But yeah, it's something that we need to get,
Alright.
cleaned up, and
Alright.
I was gonna, we brought it up last night that I'm gonna be in Hillsdale tomorrow, so I know where you guys are. So, yeah, if we can get that worked, I'm gonna bring it to, I might even just shoot out a quick email, try to go to Heather.
Well,
Okay, and just say, hey, here's what we've got, and that way I can get a reply, and I'll have that to take to my board meeting. Our board meeting's next Thursday. Thank you.
The last, communication we had with Gail was that we would have to hire Bill Henn.
Bill had to draw that up.
Just to discuss it any further, because it's out of her wheelhouse.
Okay.
So.
We had sent us off to McChrystal, which is our third-party insurance carrier, and basically she's telling us that that's out of their wheelhouse, that there's an attorney that they normally use and we use when we have to go through them, but other times we have to go straight to them. She suggested that we go straight to them and have them draw something up, or at least walk us through the process of properly doing it, so that
Okay.
10 years down the road, somebody doesn't come back, claiming you did it wrong, or, so.
Nobody would do that, but go ahead.
Alright,
Thank you.
Anybody else? Nothing? Nothing? All right. I think we're at what manager's comments.
okay, this is where Heather comes in.
I think you still hold that my body.
Alright. So we already kind of talked about the updates that Heather has started to do for each of the township. Hopefully prior to their township meetings, they'll probably be like once a month, first part of the month, send them all out. Every township will get like an update with like their specific stuff on top, and then all the county stuff, just general stuff that we're doing throughout the county, just to give the townships more info, give the commissioners more info to, you might not have to talk about a lot when you go to the meetings, but at least then everybody's kind of on the same page, everybody's getting that information. I think it's a good,
Very good.
change. So,
I
and it's
support that
basically,
motion.
what's that?
I support that motion.
It's basically the same thing that I've been going off for a long time, since Heather's been back and doing the updates for her and Kevin. So basically I'll jump into that. First, before a couple of these that she didn't have, I've got a meeting scheduled on the 26th with the folks from Permazyme, which is that little hard puck over there on the table. Let them come
Presentation.
do a presentation for us and tell us what they can do.
What it won't do.
So that's what their product per se would turn the road base into. They said normally it would be about a 6-inch deep base. They use that in the south a lot, and where they don't have the trees thaw, and they just chip seal over it. And they say they have a lot of good results there. I'm not so keen on that or sure on that for our weather conditions. However, I do think it would be a good thing to try anyway. When we go to pulverized roads, and I wanted to try to do it for some of the Somerset roads that we did up there, or maybe as we get going farther. Try that as a base, and then just pave on top of it, and that, as far as a subdivision road, I think that would hold up extremely well.
Well, you don't have a lot of heavy truck traffic. Well, yes, but they're saying it will hold it, and actually it would hold up pretty good, the truck traffic, if you did that for 6 inches and built your normal road on top of it, I think would suffice for most of our roads, not probably class A needs to be built a little bit better, but it is very expensive. It's I wanna say a couple $1,000s for a 5-gallon bucket.
No,
But that gets diluted into water, so it's like, I think they said it's 3 of the buckets per mile.
9,000 a mile.
So it's about, yeah, and then 9,000 miles thereabouts to stabilize the base, basically is what they're doing. Now, I personally think once you try to do this and you see, okay, well that seemed to work okay, maybe at that point you look at, well, let's try chip sealing a subdivision road or something. If you got a good base and you keep a chip seal, but you gotta keep on it. It can't just be one and let it go for 10 years. It's gotta be, every 5 years or so, put another chip seal on it. Could be a very cheap way of fixing some of those roads, but anyway, on the 26th, he's coming to talk with us on that. We are hauling in the gravel for the Heartwood, Morris, Desiree, whichever company you want to call it. The solar fields in Fayette and Allen, and all the roads that they're done with the construction phase. They're now in maintenance phase, and so now they've signed the 2 contracts that you guys signed earlier for a total of 11,250 tons of gravel. We're trying to still get the ones for Allen changed from gravel to limestone. We went back to them, and so they're looking at it again still. Because they're switching over from Heartwood to Desiree, which that's the parent company for this. They're based out of New York, and so I'm dealing with them now too, but he said go ahead and resubmit for the limestone difference, which is about 65,000 difference.
I think that's what you told me.
Between gravel and limestone for what they have in their township. Anyway, we are in the process of having the gravel hauled into their laydown yard on Jonesville Road right now. There's a few thousand tons already on the ground. They'll definitely haul in 7,000 tons right now, and that's for all the Fayette roads. We'll hold off on the other 4,250 that could be limestone, and if they don't approve it, we'll haul that much in gravel, and it'll all be gravel. But once that starts piling up a little bit, and we've got a loader that's got to be there to help keep it pushed up into a pile so we don't take up all the yard, we'll start hauling that to the roads as time allows for Kevin and the guys. That's where that stands for the solar stuff. I think we addressed it last meeting about looking at the crash attenuators. So along with what you're gonna hopefully approve later in the meeting, we're gonna contact, who was that? That was, never mind, mixing 2 things up there. We're gonna look at getting at least 1 crash attenuator so the guys can have it behind them while they're mowing or working out on the roads or something. Right now we've got quotes from about 3 or 4 different companies, and they range anywhere from 27,000 to 46 or 47,000, depending on the style and everything. So my intent is to next meeting, we're gonna compile the quotes, pick which one we want, and I'm gonna bring to have that approved. Cause that will be over even my spending authority if you approve the policy.
Will that be permanently mounted on a truck?
No, it's a trailer. These
Oh,
are
it's
trailer.
okay.
And it has to be pulled with a certain weight vehicle with a certain, I think a 20-ton fiddle hook and a certain weight vehicle that has to pull.
Okay, so we can pull it with anything. Switch it around.
Almost, yes.
Yeah.
So would we keep it on the state road?
I don't know, and that's one of the questions I was gonna ask you is, we could buy it and leave it on the state trunk lines for 5 years and the state will reimburse for it? Or do you really wanna worry about it for the $25,000 to $40,000? And if we have a crew out doing something even on county road, put that protection behind them, we just won't get reimbursed as much from the state. I personally think it needs to be used anytime the crews are out there in jeopardy and we can use it and, cause there's some places it just won't work. There's not room or anything, but if, whether they're on state trunk lines or county roads, if we can afford to have that behind them, you know, there's been too many accidents lately, to include deaths, that if we can put a $25,000 piece of equipment behind them to protect that, and if it gets hit, it gets reimbursed, it gets paid for by the insurance or whoever hit it, you know, so really you have to buy it once. And from that point, if it gets damaged, their insurance is gonna
Cover.
cover it.
So are you looking for our input right now?
Sure,
So my response would be, to me, it's not worth just restricting it for use on state highways. I mean,
and I would agree with that.
Territorial Road, for a good example.
Yep.
You know, particularly in the spring, summer, fall, the weekends, traffic there is really, really heavy. And I'm sure there are other roads around the county on primary roads that it's the same thing. And here, well, after the fellow from Branch County was killed in that accident, and I was on my way to Hudson on 127, and I came upon our crew mowing the east side of 127, and this was just like a couple weeks after the accident, and we had a 1-ton with a big flashing sign on the back end of it, and I had a conversation with Heather, and I was thrilled to see that.
But even still, that doesn't protect them in a crash. I mean, that's kind of warning the public a little better, but it doesn't have any crash protection than this would. This will have an aero board on it too.
Yeah.
So it's a trailer that can absorb, and they rate them up to 62 miles an hour. That's the max that they rate any of these. And then they'll have an aero board that can either be a flat bar or arrow in either direction. And we can put our own flashing green and amber lights on it too. So.
I agree with Gary. It's not worth taking a chance.
And I'm glad, because I'm under the same, and I'm pretty sure Heather is too. So as a minimum, I'm gonna probably next board meeting ask you to approve whichever one we decide, and then, because each have good and bad points, and we'll go from there. But I just wanted to let you know that it's coming on next meeting, the get approval. All right, so Harmon Road and South Hillsdale Road. That whole water issue that we've got with the church and everything, we replaced the tube on Hillsdale Road already. So that got a 30-inch tube, I believe, put in. We will pave over that when we get the paver back going. We'll smooth that out and pave it back in. Probably next week we're gonna start working on both. We gotta put a catch basin next to the church and do a drive culvert so to direct the water away from their stuff again. And then we're gonna shape the road and put a tube in for Harmon Road in case the water gets high again. It can flow through that, and then it'll flow through the one on Hillsdale Road, and hopefully protect that whole area from getting flooded. So, let's see, pavement markings. They've got everything but the fog seal and the rumble strips.
After we get done fog sanding, they'll come in and do the center line, edge line.
So they started fog sealing today, or is that gonna be Monday?
Next week.
So we got done with the chip seal, which is, if I read farther, probably down there. But we got done with chip seal, so now they'll switch over to fog seal. They'll fog seal everything in, and then anything that needs to be painted at that point, the contractor will come back in and paint all those lines. Got Albright working on maintenance on some of our bridges. I'm not gonna go through all of them. The safety project for the LED lit stop signs is completed. We do have 2 of them that we're having issues with, and so the contractors, I think they replaced the batteries on 2 of them once, and they still aren't working right, so they're gonna come back out and look at those 2 signs. And other than that, that one's done. The small urban is complete, which was bar, spring, and mechanic. So that's all complete. Our various roads, because all they got left to do is the fog line painting. They've got the center lines painted already for Concord, Jonesville, and Territorial, for those sections. I think I heard today that they're almost done with all the traffic counts.
They have 2 left that they put out today.
Okay, so seasonals have been putting traffic counts out at the railroad crossings that they asked us to do. We had 31 of them that they asked, and so they should be finishing them up today. The Pittsburgh Road Bridge over the dam, we're still working on getting specs and stuff to get that repaired. Heather's been jumped in and took over the Office of Highway Safety grant stuff, and that's dealing with the like a lot of Amish issues along the roads. So we did come up with 20 new. They have a grant for like $6,000, I think. We came up with 20 signs as what that would pay for. So we have them all listed out as to what roads they're going to get. There's 10 in the Reading area and 10 in the Waldron area. And so you'll see those start getting put up. Heather's working on the Transportation Asset Management Plan. She finished it up or caught us up when she first got back because it hadn't been done. And now it's time for it to be redone. And so she's working on that, and that's due by October, the end of October. Let's see. The 2027 federal aid projects, she's working on the NEPA clearances, the environmental studies for it. And those are gonna be 2-inch mill and fills located along Territorial Road from M49 to South Hillsdale. So that'll start working its way across as we can get those done. Let's see. We submitted a safety project for a grant back in April and got selected for 2028 construction, which is upgrading the guardrail along Territorial Road. So if there's any old, out-of-date style guardrail, that's all gonna get replaced. But that won't be until 2028. We're also working with, have we got a company for the ADA yet?
I think we're gonna use that.
Yeah, it's got a
Okay.
PO and I'm sending
We've
it.
got to have our websites and everything ADA compliant, just like everybody else has. So Thatch has come in with a very good estimate, a lot lower than the other companies that we looked at. So I think we're going to go with Thatch to get that done. And I think that has to be done by April 2028. The 28th, 27th? Okay.
The larger populations are 27.
That's okay. The state crews, they've been out mowing the yard, or mowing the brush along the side. I think you can see some out here on 99 where they're at the other day. Paving crews are gonna start paving once they complete the fog seal and go back to paver patching some of our primary roads. There's a couple, maybe little local spots that we still need to hit, but for the most part, they'll be hitting primary roads that we can afford to do this year. That's the fog seal. The crack seal crew's been out, good part this year, but I think a lot of those were the seasonal, employees, and they're starting to go back to college and stuff now, so we're losing some of those. So I'm not sure how much more of the seal coat will get done. Yeah, crack seal, not seal coat. The roadside mowing, the first cut was completed on June 29th. We started the second cut back on the 2nd of this month. And it's taken them right about a month to get through, so I would say by the end of August, they'll have the second cut done. I think they've been doing a good job, and
Very good.
haven't heard anything but good comments about them, so. They are, like you said earlier, they are hauling the last 475 tons of limestone for Allen Township today. And then we still have some for Amboy and Litchfield to haul. And then we'll be done with all the gravel patching. Corrigan completed their first application of brine on August 8th for everybody. We're starting to do, there's like 6 townships that contract for more than one, and so we're contacting each one of them prior, make sure they still wanna have it, cause this one's about a month later than what it should have been. If they still wanna have it, great, we'll schedule it, we'll scrape them, we'll brine it, but if not, I think we've had one so far, physically call and say, no, we don't want the second one, so.
I know Camden was concerned about that when I was there a month ago. You know, that as late as they were gonna be the first time around, is it worth spending the money to do the second, so.
And really, it's gonna come down to weather. I mean, when this rain helps, when it turns into mud, it, keeps the dust down.
Yeah.
But just, if any of them call and say, hey, we do wanna get a second one, that shouldn't be an issue to give them a contract if they don't already have one. Give them a contract and have it sprayed again, 'cause.
So we are trying to reach out to all of them that said they initially wanted to second.
Oh, definitely.
We're reaching out before we do it.
Yeah.
Just make sure they still wanna do it, that's good.
And if you hear of any that didn't give us a second one and want to, just let us know, or have them give us a call, because I'm sure we'd set it up fairly easy. Let's see, so we do have it posted, we're advertising for administrative assistant, because we elected to hire and move Quinn over to Heather's old job. But it's gonna be a long, a long process to move her over and start learning some of that while still helping Katie and her staff do what they need to do until a new person can get brought up to speed. So she's gonna kind of be filling a double role there for a while. But that opens up that slot, we need to get it filled as soon as we can to get that back up and running. Let's see. So I guess that's the guardrail.
Oh.
I got it.
I should remind
So if you want a list of the different places on Territorial Road, this is just the guardrail spots that are gonna get done for that safety project. We met with Samsara, a representative from Samsara yesterday. They presented us with a little PowerPoint slideshow and give us a little bit of information on Samsara, which is basically kind of like right now we have Verizon Connect for GPS location on our vehicles and stuff like this. They have not only the GPS stuff that goes along with it, they'll install front mounting cameras, you know, to video what's happening in front of the vehicle. They can do in-cab, but I don't think we need to look at in-cab. They can also track the up, down of the plows, you know, where something's been plowed, they can track material, usage, so we can kind of maybe save some on some material. Their tracking seems to be a lot better. It is a little bit more expensive than what we're currently paying for the Verizon Connect. It's probably double what the Verizon Connect is right now. But I think for what they offer, the front facing cameras, the gateway for the GPS and all the controls, and then they also have a portion that can help with maintenance, like if it flashes a maintenance code, it tells the maintenance shop, this vehicle's got this code and helps schedule maintenances for it. I think we all liked it yesterday, so I'm gonna have them start on Monday. They will bring, they said 3 to 5. I think it's basically gonna bring 5 test units to put them on our vehicles. We can test it for 30 days and see how, look at all the dashboards and see how we like it. And then we can go from there. If we don't like it, no harm, no foul. And if we do, then we'll look at a contract to do that.
I think that's a good idea because it'd be good to know if the blade's up or down. And it would be good to know if we're over salting, which could save us a lot of money.
Yep. There's a lot of, and they've got quite a few of the county road commissions already on board with them. So there's a lot of other places that we can call and talk to. I know Jackson just did the same exact thing with them last month. I think they had them install some units on their stuff, and so far from what I've heard from them, they liked it.
We had them when I worked at MDOT.
Okay, yeah.
And
So, they got-
mainly it was to protect the driver too, in the event of an accident.
Yep, it is. So a couple of the things they have sensors in that control box that if they're driving along and all of a sudden it hits a pothole, it registers that and it marks a spot saying you need to go look at this because there's a hole, there's a dip, there's something there. It also has like AI stuff where the camera picks up something that like this tree that's laying out in the road. It'll pick that up and say something's not right there. You need to go take a look at it. You can also utilize anybody that has a Samsara. Doesn't have to be us. Doesn't have to be government. Anybody that has a Samsara system to utilize their cameras to see what's there. And if it registers stuff, it'll tell you like all these different cars drove this road and hit that same spot or recognize the same thing. You can look at their cameras too, and
It'll also, which I found this interesting, it pulls the weather radar onto the dashboard as well. And say we've got a winter storm coming in and it's in Branch County. If they've got Samsara vehicles, not just the county road commission, but if they've got public UPS or whatever driving 69 or driving any of the roads in Branch County, you can click on that individual camera and it will show you the road conditions of that road. So, and that would be rain, weather, or wind, anything like that.
We can see that ahead of time.
Right.
there's a lot of good info that, and I'm sure Verizon could do some of that, but
It'll be more money.
yeah, they've bring them up, easily to that same cost. But they've integrated it so much that there's a lot of advantages there that we can take advantage of. And it's gonna be in the 40,000 range for a year and we figured 100 vehicles in our fleet that would have different levels of, some of them have forward facing cameras, all of them will have the unit plugged into them. And then only some of them would get the maintenance assist, thing, but on average, just a quick look at the numbers, it's gonna be around 40,000.
And the accuracy, it pings 3 times a second. So you can literally watch the vehicle travel. It doesn't skip and start here and then show a diagonal line clear over here.
And you can pull up their camera and actually see what they're seeing at real time. So you can watch that camera as they're going down the road and see what's there.
They had a feature, MDOT did, but they were still testing it. But it had a laser that went out and could register on the shoulder of the road. So when you were plowing, you got into windy conditions, you knew where you were at.
Didn't address anything like that, but
But they didn't.
But there's a lot there
On all the trucks.
that I think we could pick up on and,
Yeah, I think it's a great idea, I think.
so more to come on that, but we're gonna have them come test, give us some test units and test it for 30 days and
See what you think.
see how it goes. But everybody that was there yesterday, I think, liked it and was more than willing to at least give them a try anyway. All right, moving on. So you didn't address the McChrystal?
No, I haven't talked much today.
Okay. So we did get our McChrysip, I guess refund, which, basically we got an $80,000 refund from McChrysip for, sorry. They do it every year, this just happens to be this year's is 80,000. So, good deal.
I got that in the mail.
What's that?
I got that in the mail.
Did you? Yeah, you probably should have, but I just want to make sure you knew. I already addressed that. We've got the commissioners seminar coming up September 27th, 28th at the Comfort Inn Suites in Mount Pleasant. So we need to know who's interested in attending that so we can get that set up with the rooms and all that reservations.
I would probably go, but it's fair week. I'm not gonna go.
That'll be a praising corn.
Which one is
Probably
that?
in your neck of the woods.
Very possible.
Joe just gave me a copy in case you forgot yours.
You ever get called in just to come?
I didn't know if we decided whether we want to do it or not.
Yes, I did, yeah, it's Macomb County.
Just brought it in just in case.
Well, one of the other things that we're looking at is, we've rented a small roller for when we do the cross cuts and stuff. So we've rented it twice now, comes in pretty handy. It's heavy enough to get compaction on we use it on South Hillsdale too. You get compaction on those bigger tubes. And actually we took our excavator that was there doing the digging, the excavator just lifted it, put it down in the hole, and it just kind of rolled its way up until it compacted this way up and rolled its way out. Prior to that, all we have is a vibrating compactor, handheld, which doesn't get you the compaction that you need. So we're looking at possibly purchasing that exact one or a new one. If we got that used one, they're asking $31,500 for it. If we got a new one, depending on the weight of it, it'd be $43 to $50 for a brand new one.
How many hours on the used one?
415.
That's not very many.
But, so we're looking at either, and probably next meeting, if you guys think about it, maybe.
Don't you have approval to buy that?
Would that be on my name, or do we have to put it out for bids?
If we do used,
The used one, I believe we could pick
That's
up.
what I was thinking.
The others, we would have to go to My Deal or Sourcewell or one of those. Now, it will fall under the new policy that you're about ready to look at, to where we could use 3 quotes anyway, even if it was new. So,
Oh, I see, yeah.
they don't have to go out to bid.
okay.
That's what I was thinking of.
I guess we don't have to do that for the snowplow act.
I don't know,
Well, it's not through yet. They're trying to get it's called a resolution, well, maybe we do. It's a resolution in support of the Plow Storm Act, which basically, I can get y'all a copy of it. It's basically getting the Federal Clean Air Act exemption, the same as like the fire trucks and things like that, to have the exemption for the diesel emissions. Now the CRA and the other road commissions are trying to get the snow plows exempt the same as a fire truck or something like that, because fire trucks and stuff aren't getting to where they need to go if we can't get the roads cleared.
Right.
So
I knew nothing of this, so I don't
I
know.
know.
You keep looking at me.
So what we'll do is we'll send this out. We'll send this out to all of you, and probably again next meeting we can have it like drawn up with all the blanks filled in for us, and if you guys agree to it, then you can sign that saying you support that, and that's what CRA is trying to use to get this driven.
That originated out of the UP. I think it was,
for the state, yes,
Yeah.
but it's,
it was Chippewa.
it's been on one of the legislative priorities for CRA for a while, but it's getting more attention now. And so I think now they're looking to get resolution of support from as many as they can, so that they can get it pushed through. All right, let's see. The other two are on the,
Yeah, we got 3 things on them. Yeah, the other 2 are on the agenda.
so I guess that's about all I got for updates, but the other two will come here later. Have you got any questions?
I have a question, so I don't know whether this is old business or what, but has the guardrail been repaired on Territorial Road at Carpenter?
Not yet. We're in the process of getting the parts and pieces and doing that.
Did we ever get a police report on that accident? And
Yes,
who hit it? What happened?
I believe a tractor fell off a trailer. They probably didn't have it tied down or whatever, and when they come through there, it fell off and hit, and so yes, there is an accident, police report on it.
So are we or our insurance company gonna be able to recoup some money from the,
Honestly, why not, just like any other damage.
I'd say there's,
because that's gonna cost several $1,000s to fix that.
Yeah, amazingly, it's a few, I wanna say it's 4 or 5 posts and 2 rails and an end section. So the end section's the biggest cost, all the rails and the post, and that's kind of minimal, those end sections are
expensive.
4
or 5,000 each, yeah, so. But yes, we can,
And it's gonna
just
take,
like any other damage.
gonna take some labor too to
Oh, yes,
take the old one off and put the new one on. So, yeah.
but yes, they are getting all the parts and pieces around to do that one, and there's several other guardrails, the one out here on,
Lampier,
99,
Lampier, isn't it?
I think
well, it's about there, yes.
That's the one I'm waiting on, I keep asking
Yeah.
about.
I see it every day when I come into work too, so. I guess at Lampier also, I've talked to the property owner, they should be starting next week to
Move the dirt.
move the dirt, and so I'll keep an eye on that one. Anything else?
Anything else for Bob?
The only thing I have to say, comment on is our agreements that we have with the solar projects and doing the road work for any damage that occurs. Do we have language in that if they change companies?
Yes, because it's still basically the parent company that's responsible for everything. They have a lot of subcontractors, and like the one went from, I don't know, Hartwood to Primoris to, and it really depends on who you're dealing with, what you're dealing with it about, as to what company, but it all comes under Desiree for that particular one. So all the rest of them are small, I shouldn't say small, they're sub to them, but it all goes to the one place. And so far, not just them, but even Pivot that's getting ready to start, they've been pretty good. Pivot's already sent in a check for the administrative cost, and then they've agreed to the $300,000 to fix the roads when they're done. So far, it's working.
I was just concerned about that because they do the shell game,
Yep.
get out of pain.
No, so far they've all owned up to a lot of things, even things that you couldn't prove that they actually did any damage. We did enough work out here that we're willing to.
That's nice of them. Really.
Well, the first one we went on faith, I guess you want to call it. The second one, we told them we did the agreement where they had to pay up front before they start construction, and what they're going to agree to do when they're done. So hopefully that continues.
All right. New business, approve updated purchasing policy.
Okay, so is that all in there?
I gave him a copy and I got the one that you guys.
Alright, so this again is driven by a House bill that just got passed, House Bill 4415, which is part of MCL 224.10. And what it does is it takes the